Hey everyone, Chelsea here for Sugar Ray Crafts. This is going to be a small standard gem tree tutorial. I haven't mounted this one down, but you get the point. This is the most basic, simple one you can make. It's the one I recommend to start out if you're just beginning gem trees. And here's the materials that you will need. You need a rock. You can find them outside, or you can buy, if you want to put the money in, you can buy some crystals at a specialty gem stone store. But for the average Joe, most people don't want to spend a whole lot of money on these trees, so I just get a rock from outside. Then you will need 24 or 26 gauge wire. I usually use 26 gauge for these small standard gem trees, but I have some of this left over, so I'm just going to use 24 gauge today. And you need 15 pieces of wire cut about 24 inches long each, roughly. Can be a little bit longer, could be a little bit shorter. It really doesn't matter. You just want to get it about 24 inches. So 15 24-inch pieces of either 26 or 24 gauge wire. Then you need some rock chips. I have some fluorite here, so I had it left over. And you're gonna need, this tree takes 45 rock chips, but I would recommend having a little bit more than that, because occasionally one will break off when you're twisting it, so you'll need to replace it. So 45 plus a few extras. You'll need some pliers and some wire cutters. These have the wire cutters and the pliers. And then you will need some E6000 glue and a couple rubber bands. Okay, so to start out your tree, you want to get a 2-foot piece of wire. Cut it off. I usually cut the wire off as I go, because a bunch of loose wire on the table is just a mess. So, see if I can do this looking through a camera. Alright, slide on your gem stone, and then grab the two ends of the wire and find the middle. And you want to pull your stone down to the middle of the two halves. And then you just want to twist it. And you want to twist it about 1/4 of an inch. Be really careful not to over twist the wire, or you're going to fatigue it and it will snap off, and then the wire is no good for this project. So just twist it enough so that the twists look uniform, but don't over twist it, otherwise you're just going to snap it off. So that's what it looks like. Alright, then take one wire, grab another stone, it's over to where you can see it. Slide it on and pull it all the way up to where you made the first gemstone. And then once you have it about 1/4 of an inch away from the twisted center, then you want to fold it over so it looks like this, and then twist. Okay, so you'll have that. And then grab the last wire that you haven't used yet. Grab a stone. Sorry for the rooster. Slip it on, pull it up towards the twisted center. And once you're a quarter of an inch away, fold it over like this. And then twist it. And be sure that you're not twisting it too much. Alright, once you have that twisted so it'll look like this, you want to take both the sides of wire and twist it. You want to twist it a little bit more than a quarter of an inch. Okay, so it'll look like this. Wait for the camera to focus. If it wants to. There we go. So that's what your finished first part of each branch will look like. So then you just want to set this aside. I'm going to show you again. Cut a 2-foot piece of wire. Cut it off.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I'm gonna lay down for an hour. Do you want me to set the timer on the side?
No, I'll wake you up at 3:15.
Okay. Because I want to leave at 3:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you too. Okay, so you have your 2-foot piece of wire. Grab your stone. Slip it on. Pull it so that you got it in the very middle of your one wire. And you just want to twist that in the center. So this is what your first twist will look like. And grab one wire and one stone. Do it a quarter of an inch away from your first twist. And fold over that wire. Twist it. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. See how the middle twist is shorter than this right one right here? It doesn't have to be perfect. Trees aren't perfect. Your wire tree does not have to be perfect. Okay, so once you have that second one done, then grab the wire you haven't used yet, the side you haven't used yet, put on your stone. I always have to look off camera when I'm putting these on. Camera won't focus enough for me. Put it on. Once you're a quarter of an inch from the twist in the center, fold it over and twist it. Okay. This rock chip broke, and this will be a good time to show you how to fix it. Just gonna throw that away. This will happen a lot of the time, especially when you're working with rock chips that are really thin. So it's okay. Now there's two ways you can fix this. You can either put a dab of glue on it, over the hole. Take your E6000 glue, and then you put a dab right on top of this loop here, and then you can glue a new stone on there. that is what I will do if I have the tree already finished. Like, all the branches assembled, all the branches twisted together, you know, and there's no possible way that I can untwist this to put a new rock on, then I will do that. I will glue it. And you can certainly do it at this stage too. But when I haven't gotten that far in the branch, you know, when I haven't assembled the tree yet, I just take my pliers and untwist my wire. Of course, I was twisting it tighter because I'm not paying attention. Okay. I'm gonna have to start a new branch because I just fatigued the wire and snapped it. Okay. So I'm still working on the second part of the first branch because I had to trash that one. So bear with me. I'll just do it quickly. So occasionally that will happen when you're untwisting it, or if you over twist, your wire will fatigue and snap, especially with the smaller gauge like 26 gauge. So got the rock centered on the wire. I'm just twisting it about 1/4 of an inch. Now, if you're using a heavier gauge wire that's like, I want to say 22 gauge or 20 gauge, which is super thick, a lot of times you will not be able to twist it by the stone. The stone, no matter what stone, the stone will break. So, if you're using a heavier gauge wire like 22 or 20, you're going to have to use your pliers and gently grab onto the wire underneath the stone and twist it like that. Like, twist it like, you know, twist the wire and not the stone. But with 26 or 24 gauge, you should be fine. Just twisting the stone. Okay, so it's 1/4 of an inch from that center twist. And then I'll grab. What are you dogs doing? Huh? And I will grab the wire I haven't done yet. That one's gonna break. Some of the stones, the holes are so close to the edge, just don't use them because they're gonna break. Once you start doing a lot of these, you'll kind of be able to tell which stones are going to break no matter how careful you are. And you can just put those stones aside and use them if you need to glue a stone on to complete a tree. Okay, so once you have great stones on there, twist it in the center. Okay, I'm gonna do one more branch for you guys, and then I'm gonna show you the next step of the tree. So you make a 2-foot wire. And the wire, by the way, the wire that you want to buy needs to be a tarnish resistant wire. You do not want to buy a cheapy wire. And tarnish resistant isn't that expensive. It's a little bit more pricier than the really cheapy wire, but you don't want anything that's going to get ruined when you're twisting it and working on it with your pliers. So I put the stone on there, then I pulled it to the center. And I'm twisting it. Stone's a little bit weak, so I'm trying to go slow. So you got your center, grab one wire, put your stone on, wanted to pull the 1/4 of an inch from the center twist, fold over your wire, twist it. And grab the wire you haven't used yet. Grab a stone. Don't drop it on the floor. Grab another stone if you happen to drop it on the floor. That one's pretty close to the edge, but I'll be careful. Quarter of an inch from the center twist. Oh, it broke even before I started twisting, but the hole didn't break. Okay, fold it over, and it broke. It's a good thing I didn't start twisting yet. The actual hole is still intact, but the entire rock chipped off. Some of the holes are really hard to see. Okay. So you'll find when you make these trees that a lot of the times you have to go back and redo it because the rock chips break. Unless you're working with rock chips that have been like cut into... That one break too? Not yet. That have been cut into squares or big chunks, you know, then you're gonna have some trouble when you're working with these really small thin pieces of rock chips. So once you have it like that, you've got your top center and you got your two sides, you're just gonna twist it. So I hope I did okay showing you how you got this branch. So once you have, you want to make 15 of these, okay? You should have 15 of these 3 stone branches. Once you have made all 15, which I've gone ahead and done so that the video wasn't like an hour long, you want to split the branches into groups of 3. Just want to lay them on top of each other. You want the twisted bottoms to meet. You don't want to start twisting on the already twisted parts. Okay? So can you see this? Just You want to hold it like that. Then take your thumb, grab it, and then twist them all together. And this is kind of how you make bead sprays too, so you could easily make a bead spray from these using this technique. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time how I did that. As soon as I find... There. These are some that I already made for you. Okay, so you lay them on each other at the bottom of each twisted end. Once again, do not twist the already twisted parts. It's not going to look very good. My camera to focus. Okay. So that's what it'll look like right before you twist it. And grab it with your thumb and twist. Okay, so you want to do that with each group of 3, and you should have 5 sets of the 3 branches grouped together. So there should be 5. 3 branches twisted on each one. I went ahead and made them up for you. Oops. Okay. And drop some on the floor. Okay, sorry about that. So once you've got your 5 larger branches twisted together, and once again you should have 3 of these on here. So there'd be 9 stones per branch, okay? You want to take 2 of these new larger branches. So 2 9-stone branches. And you want to do the same thing as you did when you were just twisting these together separately. You want to lay them on top of each other. Wait for my camera to focus so that you can see. Lay them on top of each other. Do not twist the already twisted parts. And then once you have them laid together at the bottom, then you just want to twist. And you can unravel the branches when you're done. And you want to go down probably about 1/2 inch. So it'll look like this. Okay. And then you should have 3 of the 9-stone branches left. And this one you only twisted 2 together. But this is an odd number so that you're going to twist the last 3 together. So one larger branch should have the 2 twisted together, the 2 9-stone branches together. One will have 3 9-stone branches twisted together. And I do an odd number on each side. You know, I do 2 and 3 because trees aren't perfectly symmetrical. So once again, lay them on top of each other. Don't twist on these already twisted parts. And then you want to twist them all together. The more wire you twist, the harder it gets to twist, obviously. So, twist it down about 1/2 inch, and that's what you'll have. So now what you end up with is you've got this slightly smaller one because it only has 2 9-stone branches twisted together. And this has 3 9-stone branches twisted together. Alright, so we're rounding the corner to putting the tree together. Chewy, stop barking! So once again, lay them on top of each other. And what I like to do to make the twisting more uniform is I like to grab, see how it kind of naturally parts like this? I like to grab both rights and both lefts together so that when you twist it, well, let me get this untangled here so it'll twist okay. Alright, so when you twist it, it'll twist more uniformly and you won't be able to see, you may goof up the first couple trees you make and you'll see what I'm talking about, but this will make sure when you grab the 2 right separating parts and the 2 lefts together on each bigger branch, you'll see it twist together a lot better and you won't see the 2 different branches being twisted. You'll see what I'm talking about if you goof up. So you want to twist these 2 larger ones together. And you want to twist down about, let's see, that's 1 inch. I would twist down about 1.5 to 2 inches. So don't worry about this, you'll fluff it out once we're done. Yeah. So once you've got it twisted down, this is the trunk of the tree. Then you want to separate your wires at the bottom into 3 sections, and this is going to be the roots. And that's where your pliers will come into play. And it can be a little bit hard because the wires will tangle up easily. Alright, this is where your pliers come into play. Alright, so once you have all these wires separated into 3 groups, then you want to take your pliers, grab a hold onto 1 group at a time, and you just want to turn the tree in circles like this. Careful not to twist too much. And once you have it twisted like this, you want to take your wire cutters and trim off all these loose wires and put them aside. Then grab your next section, twist the tree again. You want to grab it about 1/2 to 1 inch. You want to grab about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from the trunk. So your roots, each root should either be 1 inch or 1.5 inches. So once you have that